Hey, Sean.
Hey, Rich. Erd.
Guess what?
What?
We have found a new home on the internet, a home just for us. It was built just for us, and it's made just for us.
Where's that?
That would be the Pod Brothers Network.
Pod Brothers Network. We're bringing the bromance to Pod Bros.
Yes. Oh, see, I see what you did there. You did a bros and bro. Oh my God. Oh, so much.
It's meant for us.
I'm just saying, like, how can you not like a network with other great shows like Dave's Nerd Compendium, Pencil and Ink Reviews, and The Accidental Wrestling Fan? This is the peanut butter to our chocolate.
It is, and they got like Players versus Podcasts and the Guy Huddle. I mean, what more can you ask for?
So we got to tell everybody, check us out on all our regular venues as well as our new home on Pod Brothers.
Pod Bros, the best podcast site on the internet.
Well, it is now. What's up, everybody? I am Richard.
And I'm Sean.
And we're speaking the language of bromance. And today is a lazy day. I'm having a lazy day.
That's nice. Kind of just hanging out.
It is nice. I have been.
Are you doing any binge watching on any shows or anything, or is it even?
No, I did watch the first episode of Gotham.
What'd you think? I ended up watching that a couple nights ago and thought it was pretty good.
It was okay. It was pretty good. I don't know, like I feel like it's one of those shows that's just gonna constantly kind of aggravate me because I'll be sitting I was like this time I was sitting there watching it, and like you see like they throw out names. You got Oswald Cobblepot, and you're like oh okay, I know who that is.
Uh-huh.
Like who that's gonna be, and Edward Nygma, and you're like up there, you're right there. And, obviously there's a character, this Catwoman.
Running around on tops of roofs with little,
right,
cat burglar things. She even gives milk to a cat right away.
Yeah. But the one thing that, like, I think I'm going to end up doing is I'm probably going to be sitting there and going, what would make this show awesome? Fucking Batman.
Yeah.
Batman would make this show fantastic, and then you're like, oh wait, Bruce Wayne is 11 years old.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before Batman shows up to this show. It almost, I wonder if they're going to do it almost like where it's going to be like a cop drama, and like you could really, it's like the Batman Dark Knight series. You could really put that in any set situation, and just the detective's
right.
Batman. So if this could be like, you could really put these groups in any world or any universe that would work.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid it's basically going to be like Law and Order Gotham City.
Yeah.
Or like NYPD Blue Gotham City. And then like the last episode of the series, like we're going to see somebody as Batman. And then the show, and then it's going to be like credits. And I'm going to be like, it's going to be the longest cock tease in the entire world. That's what's going to happen.
Do they have a season limit on that already? Have they said if they're only doing like 5 seasons or anything, or is it just?
I have no idea.
Okay,
no idea.
I caught bits and pieces of something a while back where they said they're only doing 5 seasons of something. I didn't catch if it was that show or if it was something else.
Although I did catch I also watched the first episode of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
For this season.
So season 2 started up?
Yeah, season 2 started up. Watched the first episode. Now, see, this show is one that I'm probably going to see myself being hooked in.
Okay.
Okay, have you watched like any of it, like first season, any of it?
I watched the very first episode and I couldn't really quite get into it. But like people have kind of filled me in enough that I got an understanding of what's going, or high level understanding of what's going on. But I haven't
honestly, I got like 3-4 episodes in, and then I just got kind of bored.
Yeah.
Of the first season, and I was like, I'm like Clark Gregg is great as Coulson. I'm like, but these other characters in the show, I'm just, I just don't see myself giving a shit. And the plot seemed kind of weak and stuff like that. I'm like, where's the action? Little did I know that this entire show was gearing up for Captain America 2. Because once that movie came out, like, not only did the show get 200% better, but also the stuff that they're talking about in the show made sense.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of cool that they did that because I know, like, when you're watching, it's like, well, this really doesn't feel like it ties to the universe at all, except it's like, okay, this guy was in Avengers, and none of the other characters really were in that movie at all.
Right,
But
right.
now all of a sudden, like, it's like, okay, this whole universe is tied together by this show. And, like, they even like showed scenes from the movie in one of the episodes. I thought somebody
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. I think it was the episode like right after or right before. But that, I mean, that's what happened. Like like you had like like some shit was kind of going down at the end of an episode, and then the movie came out that week, and then the very next week, like everything went fucking crazy.
Picked up right where the movie left off.
It really did. It really did. And so, and I mean, like I said, like I thought it was really, it was, it's a big gamble, especially because they lost, I mean, I know they lost viewership after those first like 5 or 6 episodes. People were just kind of like, the show's kind of weak or whatever, and like even the cast and everybody was saying like, just hold on, we promise, and they delivered. Like by the end of the first season, like you're just like, oh my fucking god.
Did you ever hear if it picked up viewerships after that?
It did. I
Okay.
think it did. At the very least, I think it lost or it gained what they lost in the first bit. So yeah. So anyway, so watched the first episode, second season, and it's pretty good. Like without saying much of anything, like it looks like the show's gonna kind of be almost like a cool version of 24 in a way.
Okay.
Where it's gonna be that kind of like clandestine, kind of actiony, you know,
Mhm.
type of show. But the other thing I'm excited about is the next movie I think Marvel has coming out is Avengers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's the next movie they got slated. So I'm pretty sure whatever's going on in the show is gonna tie in with the Avengers. And if they do it like they did with with Captain America 2, then like I'm sold.
Yeah. If they tie those two in, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Just to hark back on Gotham, so I was watching that, and I don't know if I should divulge this or not, but I mean, everybody knows that Bruce Wayne's parents get killed, and showing up at the scene was Alfred. And I'm not gonna lie, when Alfred showed up, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Alfred, I teared up a little bit.
Wait a minute, his parents get killed.
Oh, you didn't know his parents get killed? Bruce Wayne, Batman's parents, get shot.
So is that why he becomes Batman?
Oh, did I just screw this up for you? Did you not know that?
But I oh
Yeah, because you can't.
I just thought he really liked bats.
An interesting. I can't remember who told me about this, and maybe it was you, but so there was an alternate reality comic book series, I guess, based on this, where I think it was like Bruce Wayne's dad ends up killing the guy that tries to kill them, like somehow.
Yes.
Like
it's a movie. It's a cartoon movie. Justice League Flashpoint?
Okay.
But the Flash goes into this alternate universe, and Bruce Wayne's dad, is Batman.
And then like his mom, like the Joker or something like that.
Oh, I don't remember. It's been a minute since I've seen it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that's how somebody saw it. Like either like Bruce was killed in that incident, and that's why his dad becomes Batman, and his mom couldn't handle it, so she became like basically that world's Joker.
Okay. It's so crazy to me because I think if you want to do something, if they want to do like a live action thing with like Batman and Superman, stuff like that, take a page from not even the comic book, take a page from their animated shit.
Yeah,
because like the
DC,
DC animation like is amazing. I mean, it's really good. Like there's the Batman animated series that Paul Dini created like back in the 90s. Like that was amazing. Like is it just like everybody, like when you see Batman and you hear like if you if you read a Batman comic and you hear Batman talk, like, do you not have like Kevin Conroy's voice in your head?
Yeah, it's I mean it's the basically the Batman voice.
Right, right. And then you've got Mark Hamill as the Joker, and I mean, the Batman animated series like really kind of solidified Batman for me as to what he was and not only what he was, but his relationship to his villains and the dynamic between him and his villains and how his villains kind of define him in a way. And that was a fucking cartoon. But you go from there to the Superman animated series, which was also really good, and then that Justice League series, not just the cartoon series, but the movies they've come out with since, like there was Justice League Doom, Flashpoint, thinking there was another one.
It's interesting that they don't like because like you look at like Marvel's kind of their cartoon stuff. You don't hear a bunch about it. I know X-Men was really big, but like it's just interesting. Like DC kind of owns the comic book, cartoon, movie, show realm. Like they're probably the ones that are the best noted for that. But like all the big money making stuff is in the movies, and that's what Marvel has like full control over.
Yeah, yeah. They had a Spider-Man cartoon that was pretty good, and it actually stayed like really like not just the art style, but the art style and the plot was like super close to the established comic book storyline. It seems like that's what they did a lot with Marvel. Is like when it came to Marvel, it was more about putting the books that they had on in an animated form.
Yeah,
like they didn't really deviate much from the comics on the cartoon series.
Which I don't understand. I mean, I can understand like trying different things, but it seems like you've got this backlog of stories, and you know which ones are already fan favorites. So you just take those pieces and kind of adapt them to the film, and you think that you'd be fairly successful.
Yeah, you'd think so. I mean, you look at, I think Heath Ledger said when he was figuring out how to play his character, the Joker. I think the only comic he said he had to go on was Frank Miller's The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what he based kind of his performance on. Is just that series of books. Which I mean, that was crazy. That was one of the best Batman series, regarded as one of the best Batman series ever.
Yeah, and I mean it makes sense, and everybody kind of understands that. I mean, it's just like if you look at like the Batman Dark Knight series, they didn't really pull a ton from the comic books besides characters. It seems like, but like you look at the new Court of Owls series, like if you put that on film, that would be amazing.
Oh, I just reread that book.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I reread the Court of Owls, and oh god, it's so good.
It's pretty like it's just like it just makes Gotham feel that much more like there's stuff to it. And like you see like with what Sony's trying to do with Spider-Man, creating their Sinister Six and like their villain movies, like you have that right there with the Court of Owls. You could probably do a whole Court of Owls movie.
Yeah, you could. I think it's for some reason it's easier to create Batman stories, I think, than to make like a Spider-Man story. Maybe that's just me, but it seems like you can come up with new and fresh things for Batman a lot easier than coming up with new, fresh, original ideas to do with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just kind of the detective aspect of it. I mean, Spider-Man, I think, kind of does that, but it always seems like he's just put in more of like he knows who the bad guy is, so he gets to him and beats him up and wins. And does like, with Batman, it's always like something more. Like it's more of a detective. It's like you don't really know who the villain is right away.
Yeah, and it's easier. It's easier to develop. It seems like characters in Batman comics get the way they're developed is a lot more interesting. Like you take a character like Mr. Freeze. Like Mr. Freeze in the comics was like this fucking B-rate villain that was, how Arnold Schwarzenegger acted in that abomination of a movie. Like it wasn't as bad as that in the comics, but that's kind of what it was. And it wasn't really until the animated series, Batman animated series, they did. There was an episode. The first episode that had Mr. Freeze in it was called Heart of Ice, and like in that one, like it established the whole thing that like Mr. Freeze had this wife and he was trying to find a cure for his wife's illness, and like all those developments and stuff happened in a cartoon, and like you watch that now, like it's kind of moving.
Yeah. Well,
Like to see the way to see like the inner turmoil and the tragic villain, how Mr. Freeze is developed into a tragic villain.
I think that's like you were just kind of saying, like it really gives you a chance to like see them as humans or see them as like flawed characters, and you can kind of like identify like why they're trying to do these things.
Right.
I mean, the Joker is probably the one that you don't really see that he's just evil, in his own sense. But you look at like the Superman characters he fights, it's like Lex Luthor. He just wants power and destruction. He's not really doing it for any specific reason. But most of the characters inside the Batman universe, something happened that pushed them into this direction. Kind of like how Batman was pushed in the direction he went because of his parents getting killed.
Yeah, how I think everybody says like the thing that defines Batman are his villains. Like his villains is what really is it defines Batman, and it shows the audience like what the other roads Batman could have taken.
Yeah.
Or had he done, because I mean Batman was also, faced with tragedy, he decided to do something, and his villains also have faced some sort of tragedy in one way or another, and also, did something. And so it's like to see the different reflections and how, you make. It's basically telling you make what you can make out of tragedy.
Yeah, because I mean, Batman could have easily gone down an evil path with all of his money and all his power that he had, and could have become just another villain in the city. He could have been, the guy running the city.
Right. He could have been the Penguin, as like that, that bloated bureaucracy, or what, or he could have been the Joker. He could have been Two-Face.
Yeah.
But,
So sticking with comic books, I kind of have a little bit of a bitch session to bring up. I was scanning through because I was just thinking about the Turtles movie, and I was looking up to see what kind of news for the sequel that was coming out, because it's been a few months since it's been out, and I don't think it's on theaters anymore. So I was like, well, maybe they got some news about the new sequel. What's coming out? Just peeking around, and I ran across an article. I don't know if I'll be able to find it real quick, but I can kind of paraphrase what happened. But they were talking to Megan Fox, I guess it was outside of some premiere or something, and they were asking her kind of about the criticism of the Turtles movie. And essentially, she said, do you see how much money this movie's made and how many of these people have come out to see this movie? It's like they just need to shut up and basically just fuck off, because, just look at how much money this movie's made. And she kind of said, have you seen like how much money Transformers 4 has made? People are going to go see this stuff. So basically just telling the fans to fuck off.
Ah.
Yeah. And so I've only saw one article on it, so it may not be true. I haven't done a full research on it because, what good podcast would want to do a ton of research on something to verify?
Yeah, fuck that.
But that got me to thinking, it's like that's what frustrates me the most about these movies and everything, is because you're giving somebody the capability to make these movies, and then they think it's all about them. Like I'm sure in her mind and in Michael Bay's mind, the Turtles movie only made money because they were basically connected to it. In her mind, they could, if they casted some some unknown girl to play April, that movie would not have made the money it made. And I don't know about you, and I don't know about anybody that's listening, but if you just said, hey, there's a new movie with Megan Fox in it, I'm uninterested. Like it's not going to make me go see the movie. But if you tell me that there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, I'm going to go see it because of that name. There's a brand tied to that.
See, I don't know. Like, to me, I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's saying that, like, we don't really, we're not interested in the quality of the work that we make because we attach a franchise to it. We attach something like the Transformers or the Turtles to it. And you're all are gonna go see it because you're fucking idiots.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, that's what it made it sound like. And I think she said in the terms that I wish I could have read or seen the full description she gave, because Like to me, that's kind of what it sounds like a film studio's view is like we can put anything we want into Transformers, Turtles, GI Joe, and people are going to go see it because they have like these ties to these brands, and so they're going to go see it. So we don't
Right.
have to put like effort into making it good. We can just basically give it to Michael Bay, have him do his explosions, and just jerk off on it and be happy. And then
Right.
we'll put his girl pal Megan Fox in it because that'll draw in so many more people.
Yeah, that is aggravating.
Because like you look at Star Wars, I mean Star Wars can put out anything they want, and I guarantee you people would go see it. But it seems like the group that's behind it, which is Disney, and Disney cares about putting out decent products, so they put out people who care about this stuff and want to make it good.
Well, I would agree with that. I would say that, but I wouldn't put that. I wouldn't put that squarely on the shoulders of a company. I would put that on the shoulders of the individuals that are in charge of these things,
Yeah,
like Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel, the head of Marvel Studios, like he wanted a good Avengers movie, and he picked Joss Whedon. Now, keep in mind, Joss Whedon. This is a guy that up to this point had made one movie, two movies.
he did
Like
Buffy.
he did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was regarded as a commercial bomb, and he did Serenity, which wasn't overly successful. I mean, it was. I mean, I think it did okay commercially, but not no. I mean, it wasn't like a blockbuster or anything. And Kevin Feige, in his mind, is like, I need a director that's going to be able to take all these characters, put them together, and create a good cohesive movie. And he taps Joss Whedon.
And like, do you think like at his standpoint? I mean, like they've obviously made a crap ton of money off this, but it seems like his idea, or at least the feeling I get from this, because it seems like they put a lot of effort into it, is they don't care about the money as much as like creating a great story and a great build up to what they want. Like they want to create this Marvel universe.
I mean, that's the impression I'm getting is that they're like, you look at like Guardians of the Galaxy, like I think even beyond trying to make sure that it ties in with everything else that they're doing, like all those, like it seems like they make these movies to stand good on their own.
Yeah. Well, and what's fucked up too is like you can say like, well, maybe in some weird way, like they're like, hey, let's just make these really really good movies and kind of put them in the same universe, and this is gonna make like billions and billions of dollars. Like that's a smart idea. And like in a
Right.
fucked up way, it's like, well, that's the best way to do it, because if you're gonna shove all these movies down our throat, make them good.
Right. And I mean, and I guess I'm saying that by just making a good movie, regardless of whether it has these characters in it or not, it adds to the credibility of the brand.
Oh yeah,
By just worrying about making a good movie, beyond the money and everything, it creates a standard. And so now people, trust the standard. Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't, like I said, like nobody really knew it, and the people that did know it were like, it was an okay comic book, but people were like, I mean, like you didn't really hear a lot of bad press about Guardians of the Galaxy because I think almost to a point the fans trusted the brand.
yeah. When it first started coming out, and then when people saw it, like they went out there and seen it, and they were like, this is a great movie. It
Right.
stands on its own. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing Iron Man and the Avengers and Cap 2 and Thor, the fans have developed faith in Marvel. So then we're like, hey, we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy. Like people are like, well, I mean, it was an okay comic, but I guess you guys can make a good movie. So we'll trust you.
Well, and they're building themselves credit too, because like, let's say they reach into their bag of Marvel characters and pull out some other obscure character that only a niche group of people know, and they build a movie about that, and you're like, okay, I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna go see it. And let's say it's not that great, they have at least one or two not great movies they can put out and still be okay as a franchise. I think.
Yeah. I
But like if
mean, yeah, I would agree with that.
but like DC's hurt themselves so much. Like if they put out that Superman versus movie and it just doesn't make any sense and it bombs. I mean, I think that's gonna hurt them.
I think that would hurt DC. I think that's going to hurt DC overall.
I did read something about that though because like they talk about the amount of money they're putting into that movie. It's like $200 million, but they already have like 175 million of it paid off by ads and like product placement inside the movie.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so I'm curious about that.
And
Unless
honestly, like, big budget does not a good Superman movie make, or lest we
No.
all forget Superman Returns. I think
Yeah.
they spent what, 250 million on that movie?
Yeah, some ungodly amount of money.
And I mean, I mean, it didn't do well, but I mean, I don't think it bombed. I don't think that the studio lost money, but they didn't really make any money either.
Yeah, but like with that movie, like it wasn't bad. Like I saw it in theaters and liked it, but it's just that they tried to tie it to a storyline of movies that took place like 20 years ago, and so
And
like
how did
this is
Superman get a kid? Like, what the fuck was that whole deal about?
well, I think at like the very last Superman, like
Like, you don't think Lois Lane? You don't think Superman would be like Superman couldn't do like the math that every like podunk like backwoods would be baby daddy can figure out? Like Superman can't figure this out when like he goes to see that girl that he spent a summer with like 4 years ago. Now all of a sudden there's a 4.5-year-old son running around. Like, you don't think that like Superman can't do that fucking math?
Well,
like
he saw he had asthma, and he's like, "Whew, thank God he's got asthma. That can't be my genes." I love there's a Family Guy episode where like they show Superman come in and see Lois Lane, and he does his X-ray vision and sees that she's pregnant. He's like, "Oh shit, I got to go. Bye." And that's when he flies off to space. But it really makes me feel like and it's sad because it's true because like the new Turtles movie that comes out, I'm sure it'll do fine. If they're gonna do a third one, even if that second one sucks, and I'm sure it'll make money. And essentially, it's like the fans are stupid, are going to keep going to it. But like if she actually said that, like it would make me not want to go see Turtles 2 just on that basis. It's like if somebody's really going to feel that way, it's like maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe that should be my stand. Is like, even though this is a movie I really want to see and hope they fix all the stuff they screwed up. If that's how she really feels, maybe I shouldn't go.
I have not spent money on a Transformers movie. I think. Is it since the first one? I don't think I saw the first one in the theater, but I think I rented it or something like that. The other ones, like I either haven't. I don't think I've seen 3. 2, I think it was on TV one day.
Yeah, like 1 I think I saw on like Netflix or something. I hadn't seen 2 or 3, and then I went and saw 4 in theaters because there was nothing else on, and I was like, I just kind of want to get out and go see a movie, so I'll go see this. But even seeing that, like, there's characters, like, stuff happened to them. Like, they're in, like, a big part of the movie for, like, the first half of it.
Okay.
And then, like, it's just, like, a bunch of explosions and everything. And, like, at the very end, I'm like, oh, wait, there was that other character that died. Now I felt bad about it, like, 45 minutes ago. But since there was so much crap, like, I forgot about him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, every character was a throwaway character because you just didn't give a shit.
It's like, oh, well, let me get a good little one-liner in there and, make some jokes and all that jazz, and then I'm dead. And it's like, oh, well, all right. That's awesome.
But, yeah, I mean, I've never been a big Megan Fox. I've never seen what the fucking draw is. Like, she just seems like a complete and utter pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I know I don't. It's not like I have to, like, work with her or something just to see her movie, but I don't know, like, I don't like the condescension.
Oh, yeah, because she had something about she hoped that Optimus Prime was real so we could, like, destroy the Midwest and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And it's just, like, and obviously you can't really say, like, well, who are you? Because, I mean, she has made a crap ton of money, but I don't really think it's on her talent unless, I mean, it's completely on her looks.
You have to have talent, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, she's married to the guy from 90210, so I'm sure there's connections there because he's actually an okay actor.
Which one's that?
Brian Austin Green. I think those
She's
two are
married to
married.
Brian Austin Green, really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. But I mean, and it sucks because I think we're in an age like stuff like that. Like somebody can say something stupid like that, and I don't think it's gonna hurt the movie at all. And so they can say stupid stuff like that.
Right,
they can make a crappy movie.
yeah. It pisses you off that they can kind of say stuff like that and get away with it in a way.
Yeah, because then, and that's what sucks about it is like, because then it's a paycheck. And it's like you're making something that's like that should be cool. I mean, like if everything was like that, then like that'd be fine. Like if every single movie that came out was just nonsense, then that would be awesome. But when you're seeing like Marvel doing great stuff, and you see other movies making strides to make a good product, and
Yeah, you're saying that why can't you aspire to the standard?
yeah, it's like you have a great concept, you have a lot of backlog of stories, use that stuff, or make a good story on your own, and just put some heart into it.
Yeah.
It's just a movie, dude. Get over it. But
it could be a good movie.
It could be.
It could have been better.
So I'm starting to grow my beard back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies loving the beards. Is Tiff into beards?
No, she hates it.
She hates it?
Yeah.
Like I would give if she was indifferent, but she actually does not like it.
Because usually around wintertime when it starts chilling out, I'll like just let it grow out. Because like whenever you shave and you got dry skin, like it feels weird. So I always like to grow my beard out during the wintertime.
Uh-huh.
And so I started a little bit earlier this year. And like 2 weeks into it, she's like, "Yeah, you need to cut it." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna grow it out. It'll be all right." She's like, "No, I hate it. Cut it."
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, and she's threatened. She's never done this before, but she has threatened that in the middle of the night she's going to cut my beard if I don't shave it.
Wow, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
How are you just? Is it just kind of one of those? I won't shave, or is it one of those like, I want to grow a beard, like I want to,
I'll keep it trimmed. Like I'm not gonna let it get real long. Like it got it got pretty long. I just trimmed it down today, but like it's not gonna be like a full clean shaved face till like springtime.
Okay.
I think, and she does. Oh, I was gonna say like I don't think she minds it too much as long as it's trimmed down a little bit. But like it was getting pretty bushy, and that's just what she hates. But I tell her like if she could just like rub her face on it and exfoliate, or she could rub her hands in it and exfoliate her hands. I mean, there's a lot of purposes to a beard.
Yeah, all on top of the fact that like it makes you, it reminds you that you're a man.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Because see, I can't grow chest hair, so I have to have something.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. Like how when you grow like facial hair, like does it come in like good and thick?
Yeah, for the most part.
See, like mine, like when I started growing my beard out, like for the first like I'd say probably like 6 months, it came in like all patchy.
Yeah.
It looked like I had mange. That's what it looked like. It looked like I had like these tufts of hair that just wasn't filled out, and it looked like I was a dog with a that was very sick.
Yeah,
but
like mine.
It filled out, and chicks are into beards.
Yeah, it's I mean like mine grows in like I don't have like a thick like real manly beard, and it takes me a couple weeks to get it like a good a base going to where it looks decent.
Okay.
Like I'm not one of those guys that if I don't shave for 2 weeks it's like a big beard, but and I'm kind of curious like if I tried to grow that full man beard, the ones that like go down like 1.5 feet, what mine would look like, but working in an office it's a little difficult to do that.
I don't know. I think you should go for it.
How long is yours now?
I mean, I've grown it out, but right now I put like a 2-guard on mine.
Okay.
I mean, I've had it like way longer, but I put a 2-guard on mine. And then I haven't shaved in probably a week or better. I need to get that done.
So does Amanda like the beard then?
Oh, she loves the beard. Like she actually said, she's actually said, the way you love breasts is the way I love beards.
Nice.
Like she is actually like that's been a statement. I'm like, that's a pretty. I was like,
that's big.
That's a big declaration to be throwing around because I really like breasts.
So
And
like,
she's like, well, I really like beards.
so like you'll like walk out of the shower and walk over to her and be like, so honey, what do you want to have for dinner? And her eyes are just like staring straight at your chin.
Yeah, basically.
Does it make you feel dirty? Or are you like, sweetie, my eyes are up here?
No, I should do that. Yeah, she is. And honestly, like I would say that I have met more women that like beards than don't.
I know, like my brother-in-law has a huge beard, and my sister, I think she doesn't. I don't think she loves it, but she doesn't like hate it. But yeah, I don't know. So like, do girls actually like? They've actually said like they love beards?
Yes.
Like essentially the same way Amanda says like she loves beards as much as she loves boobs. Or wait,
Yes.
she loves.
Well, I mean, not. I mean, Amanda's the only one I can think of that has made a statement that that final. But one thing I will say, like I've been out to bars, and girls have wanted to like rub it.
Amanda kind of gives like a jealous stare.
I'll tell you what, there was one night me and her were out and we were sitting at a table and this drunk girl came up and asked to like, she's like, can I rub your beard? And I'm like, no.
Amanda just rubs her hands through it. It's like, that's my beard, bitch.
Well, actually, what did she, I don't remember what she said, but she made like a very final statement. Like basically like it was this whole verbal nonverbal that they were giving each other, and she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go, and then she like wanders off, and I'm like, what just happened? What?
Kind of make you feel good about yourself?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think women really understand that. It's like I think they get eyed all the time, like, they just don't understand like how much of a rush it is for a dude to know, like, have another girl like look at them and be like, oh hey, can I touch your beard?
Well, I think it's because that in general, men are the pursuers and women are the pursuees, and so to actually and I don't know about you, but I suffer from terrible self-esteem issues, so I'm under the impression that like no one finds me attractive.
Yeah,
and like, and so for a complete stranger to actually say like, I want to touch your beard because I think your beard's hot. Like that's
You're like, stranger danger, stranger danger. I need an adult. I need an adult.
I'm putting my finger in a circle motion around my face. This is my danger zone.
Yeah, the only time there's been a handful of times where like apparently girls have tried to come on to me, and like the same way, like I have this like nobody's gonna find me attractive, so like I always feel like maybe they're just like either being nice or I'm bugging them somehow, or they just need directions to the bathroom.
Yeah, like there's been times where like I haven't even noticed.
Yeah,
like there's been times where like I'll be talking to someone and then someone else that's around will be like, they were flirting with you, right? And I'm like, what? You mean what?
No. I thought she was tipsy. That's why she had her hand on my lap. I thought she was stabilizing herself.
Right? Like I don't know. I don't know if it's just I don't think it has to do with that I'm dense. I think it's just that my mind doesn't go there.
I know back when I was single, I think this might be a little bit tied to it too, is there's just the fear that like you're misreading things, because that's happened to me a ton of times.
Definitely.
And there's this time I was out at a bar on a trip, and one of the guys I was with, he's like, hey, those girls over there are like checking you out. Like they're like basically waving you over. It's like, go talk to them. And I'm like, what the fuck ever, dude. And like he kept like motioning, like, sorry, I'm trying to get them to go over there. And I'm like, they're not, that's not what they're doing.
Right.
And somebody else in our group walks over there and sat with him for like 2 hours talking to him. And it's like, I just didn't read that at all. I'm like, nah, that couldn't be what it was. Because my fear, and even the guy that went over there says he's had to do this before, but my fear is I'd walk over there and they'd be like, what the fuck do you want? I'd be like, oh, I was just coming over to, say hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry.
My ma gave me $1 and dropped me off at the park and ride.
She's a cool mom. You want to meet her? She says I'd find a nice girl here because this is where she met Dad.
Every now and again, I'm like, maybe I should just shave this off. I'm like, the weather's kind of warmer. I'm like, and Amanda has been, she's like, well, I can't tell you what to do. It's your face, but I will be sad.
Do you know there's nothing worse than like when you get a decent build on like any kind of facial hair, when you go in, you're like, I'm gonna go ahead and shave it off, and you start, and like 2 slices through, you're like, this was a mistake, but you have to finish.
You're like, I'm committed now.
I usually just have a little goatee chin thing going on. And so what usually happens is like, I'm going to go ahead and reset this, just cut it down. And every time once I'm finished and wipe off, it's like, that was a mistake. I look like a 12-year-old boy.
I really, at this point, I don't know what I would look like with shaving this off. Because I've had this for 2 years now, 2 or 3.
I saw a great video of, and I think this is a reason not to shave off your beard. And it's this guy had a video camera. His wife was video cameraing him and his daughter, and he was playing with her, and they're playing peekaboo. And he had this huge beard. And so they're like, okay, he's like, hold on, Daddy's got to go do something. And he sits her off to the side, and he walks away, and he comes back out with a towel over his face. And he does peekaboo, pulls the thing off, and he's got a clean shaved face. I mean, it looks completely different.
Right.
And the little girl just starts bawling. Like, she's like, who the fuck are you, and what'd you do with my dad? It was sad because she reaches out for a mom, and he keeps like, I felt bad for the guy because he kept like, he's like, hey, it's me, it's your daddy, and kid's like, no, you're not.
Oh, God.
It was pretty sad. But I mean, you shouldn't do that because your older daughter or, your kids might be upset because they won't recognize you anymore. So that's if anybody ever tells you to shave off your beard, that's what you need to tell them.
Right. Just be like, this isn't for me. This is for my family. And because my wife thinks they're breasts.
She just squeezes them. I imagine like you're like doing dishes or something. She just comes up behind you and like squeezes it and walks away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
sometimes she'll just come up and she'll just like scratch her fingers through it.
Nice. So I've got a little interesting news article I pulled up, kind of tying in with beards, with our was it Matthew McConaughey who was in Reign of Fire?
Yes.
So I guess there was this council meeting that basically in Great Britain, they were basically saying like they want to have the ability or build a council that would be able to protect their town from a dragon attack.
Is that a thing? Is that something I should worry about?
Well, I think they just want to be prepared for it.
Okay.
So, they basically just want to have some kind of way that they can protect. And the top 10 is like they asked is like, well, what are the plans in place to protect the town from a dragon attack? Obviously,
what do you do against a dragon attack? Especially like a town. Like because it's not like, they're not like the army. It's not like they have like surface to air missiles.
Yeah, like what kind of dragon are you thinking about too? Because like if it's like Smog, that's this massive dragon, like you're fucked. Like there's nothing you can do. If it's like the baby dragons from Game of Thrones, like you might have a chance, but even them, they kind of dominated in the certain areas.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you fight a dragon? I mean.
Well, and because the dragon hide is supposed to be ridiculously strong. So, I mean, like in, they have those super cool arrows that they shoot at them that supposedly you have to hit in the right spot.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess when you think about it, like what would be the worst thing ever? I mean, a zombie apocalypse or a dragon apocalypse?
See, I don't think a dragon, like if a dragon came out today, like I don't see a dragon. See, to me, dragons are more like, I'm going to have this bit of territory and this is my place. Gotcha. And I'm going to have my giant pile of stuff that I'm going to sleep on and like that's my life.
Leave me being and
right. I think a dragon is a far more territorial animal and would just, like if a dragon was like, I'm going to claim the state of Colorado or Wyoming,
I think
then
Colorado, yeah, it's got the mountains and kind of dig its out nice little spot.
right, and so I think everybody would just stay the fuck away from Colorado, and then I don't see the dragon like flying to Minnesota, for a raid.
Well, the problem is, so it takes all the stuff it needs, and it settles up in Denver, Colorado, and everybody leaves Colorado. But then 50 years after it's settled, somebody of Coloradian ancestry is like, you know what? I want to take back our homeland. They rally up all the other Coloradians, and they go in and they basically spook up the dragon. Of course, most of them die, but the dragon flies off and destroys the neighboring, New Mexico and Kansas, and works its way through Missouri and Illinois.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that if a dragon takes over Colorado, we should kill everyone from Colorado, so that way their offspring doesn't feel this sense of obligation to reclaim their ancestral homeland.
Well, I'm sure the people next door to the dwarven thing in The Hobbit probably feel that way. It's like, we probably should just kill all these fucking dwarves.
Yeah. Well, that's what the dude from Lake Town was like, holy shit, these dwarves are gonna wake up the fucking dragon. I don't want that.
He was right. At least,
right.
In the trailer they show, it looks like that the town got pretty messed up. But would you fight a dragon?
No.
It seems like that's just an automatic losing battle. I know that's the big thing in all kind of adventuring games, but there's no way I think you can defeat a dragon in real life.
No, it's
some
fucking
type of heavy
it's
artillery.
enormous, it's fast, it's powerful,
it's intelligent.
It's intelligent. It's like basically fighting a genius crocodile with wings that breathes fire.
And Sherlock is actually technically Smog, so
yes,
you're fighting Sherlock.
Yes. And I'm not playing that game. No, not doing it. But yeah, to me, dragons seem like territorial animals, and so I think that they would just kind of, pick out their little territory and whatever. Although, in that one role playing game that I've played, Shadowrun, for those that don't know, Shadowrun is basically it's a mixture between Dungeons and Dragons set in the world of Blade Runner. So you have, elves and orcs and trolls and all these creatures that have been awakened and been born, but it's set in like 2075, and you have these like mega corporations, and it's like Blade Runner. So you got like, it's kind of like a cyberpunk setting with orcs and trolls and unicorns and whatever. In Shadowrun, the dragons usually kind of keep to their own territory, but are also very concerned with amassing large hordes. So actually, there is one dragon who is he's regarded as, in the game, he is regarded as probably the most powerful being on Earth. His name's Lofwyr. Lofwyr, and he's a dragon, but he is also the CEO of Satyr Krupp Industries.
Nice. So does he take human form at all, or is he?
Yes, he can take human form. So he's a dragon that's the CEO. He did a leveraged buyout of this company, of this corporation, and then eliminated all of senior management
by eating them.
Probably.
You guys are fired.
Yeah. So he was considered. They said he was consolidating his power base.
Nice.
So yeah. So in this game, you have a dragon as a CEO. Because what better horde to have than a multi-billion-dollar corporation?
That's kind of awesome. Like, you've talked about Shadowrun before, and if you played D&D, it's like you said, it's like D&D meets Blade Runner, and it's just kind of an awesome idea because like of that, like I didn't even know they did that, but dragons want hordes, they want tons and tons of stuff, and what better way to do that than to own a company,
right?
So basically, Comcast would be the company that the dragon would want.
Yes, like you have a dragon, so that's probably what would happen. Like the dragon would come out and like he'd terrorize and whatever, and then he'd be like, "Holy shit, I could do something else," and then that's the new CEO of like Time Warner Cable.
What if we're like in a weird world where that's like happening right now? So the CEO or the owner of Comcast is a dragon, and that's why they never get hit with any like antitrust violations because like the government's like, okay, we
And
can't
all
do
the
anything
other
to it.
CEOs are dragons, and they're
Yeah.
all it's like, or they're all just immortal in general, and they're basically like fighting in order to
Amass the biggest horde.
right and be the last one standing.
Oh, that's awesome. Like just like someday like something starts happening where they start losing and like you just see like 15 or 20, these humans like show up on TV. It's like, all right, we're done playing this game. It just turns into a dragon and
Right?
flies in the air. It's like, what the fuck?
Like all of a sudden, like you see two guys arguing on a golf course in like Pebble Beach, and then they just turn into dragons and start fighting each other.
Just out of the woods come running these guys like these shields and swords.
Right?
Screw the movies, honey. We're watching the news. Just hitting balls at the dragons. They turn into like fireballs as they hit them.
Right? Today in Maui, a sword fight broke out after two dragons. What? Wait, what?
If that isn't a billion hit YouTube video, I don't know what would be.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So yeah, I mean, I think so. I think protecting yourself from a dragon attack, while a good theory, I think would be ultimately futile because it's a fucking dragon and you're a Hamlet in England. Like, what kind of defense do you think you're going to provide?
I mean, you're not even going to get close enough to strike it. Even if it's sleeping, I mean, you're basically like stabbing it with a toothpick.
Yeah. I think, you know what, I think that when they're talking about figuring out a town defense, I think that they're trying to find the virgin to sacrifice. Like, that's basically what they're doing. They're like, we're going to form a committee in order to defend ourselves from a possible dragon attack. And basically what that means is, okay, what we need is a young white virgin that we're going to send to the dragon as a form of payment.
So in this town meeting, like some guy stands up, he's like, I will sacrifice my daughter. And they're like, Scott, your daughter's not a virgin. I'm like, no, she's 23 and she's a virgin, I swear. I'm like, Scott, and like the councilman's like, she's not, trust me, we know. You sons of bitches.
Scott, I've been with her. Me too.
So we got some dragons, we got beards. Got Megan Fox terrorizing us in TV world.
If somebody is going to fight a dragon, they have to have a beard.
Do you think they would just let us sacrifice Megan Fox? Would that be all right?
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Well, do you have any other kind of news or anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. I will say when it comes to Gotham, the jury's not out. My rule for a television show is I give it 4 episodes. If I'm not hooked by episode 4, then I don't see myself watching it.
Yeah, I think that's a good number to give it. Like I'm really interested in that first episode. I'm kind of curious with it going if it's going to be like just entertaining because you're going to be like, what's going to happen to Oswald Copperpot? What's going to happen to this person? And if they start throwing in like more teasers, like, oh wait, is that guy this character? Is that guy this character? Because I know the big thing they kept talking about is like the Joker is going to make like appearances, I guess, but you're not going to know it's the Joker till it's the Joker.
All right.
Which could be good and could be bad. Because I know they had a comedian in this first episode, and everybody's like, no, he's not the Joker. And it's like, oh well, that's what you would say if he was the Joker.
People are like, no, not him. It can't be him. Anybody but him.
That's why they're throwing that out there, is they put these news stories out just to see if they can get any read on it.
Right. So I'm giving it 4 episodes. I've watched the first one. I can see, it might be okay. I don't know, but the jury's not out. Either way. But Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so far seems like something that I'll probably keep up on.
Are you getting into any other shows that are kind of coming out like Arrow or Flash? Are you gonna try to get into those?
I was gonna, if I had time, I was gonna try and hit the backlog of Arrow. I haven't watched any of it.
Yeah, Arrow's pretty legit. I mean,
apparently this season they're supposed to introduce Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And I know the Red Arrow is now gonna actually be the Red Arrow, which will be pretty sweet.
I want to know
So
if they're gonna explore the whole sidekick storyline. Speedy.
sidekick. Well, I won't ruin it for you. They talk about a Speedy in there, but I don't think it's the actual person that's the sidekick in the comics.
Do you know how Speedy died in the
Uh-uh.
comics? Died of a heroin overdose.
Oh wow.
It was
Oh, yeah,
actually
I
like
remember
one of
that.
the crazier. It was back in like because this was like back in like the late 70s, early 80s when they came out with this, where basically like you find out that Speedy has a heroin addiction, and the Arrow tries to get him to kick it. Green Arrow tries to get him to kick it, and he won't. And he ends up dying of an overdose.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
that's deep. That's back
Yeah,
when comics were like tackling the tough issues.
it was. It really was. Speedy was addicted to speed.
It's on the smack. Got to stop the smack. Say no to drugs, kids. Say no to
Exactly.
drugs. All right. Well, I guess we'll take care of a little housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
If you want to reach us, we're on Twitter. We're at Language of Bro. Feel free to send us an email. We're at languageofbromance@gmail.com. Always visit our website. It's languageofbromance.com. You can like us on Facebook, leave us a comment, or subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher.
Stitch Radio.
Stitcher Radio.
See,
Yeah.
we should totally do a jingle.
I think so. I think we cut that well and put some fun little stuff behind it and send it to them.
Yeah,
Like, listen.
you have like background girls. It'd be like out of Little Shop of Horrors.
Stitcher Radio. Stitcher Radio.
Right, and then
Yeah.
like bust out like a rap with it,
I'm down.
right? Because I mean, I don't know, I don't know how your singing voice is, but I figure if you write well enough, anybody can rap, right? In theory,
I think so. If you got a good beat behind it. Oh, we were kind of trying to end the show, but if you get a chance, you need to check out Bad Lip Reading, part 2 or 3 of The Walking Dead. It just came out.
Okay.
They do an awesome Carl rap, which is just amazing. Like, I want to buy the song so bad. It's just that great. So you have to check that out. Let me know what you think.
Right on.
All right. Well, I guess that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Sean.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver.
Pretty good.
Don't shave your beard.
Don't shave your beard.